The donation algorithm. In 2016, the world was captivated by DonorLink, a San Francisco-based fintech startup that claimed to have cracked one of humanity's oldest problems: how to make every donated dollar reach the people who need it most. Their weapon was a sleek AI system called the donation algorithm, a machine learning engine that mapped donor intent, tracked needs across verified NGOs, and redistributed funds in real time to maximize impact. Transparency is no longer optional, said CEO Liam Vance, the charismatic founder whose TED Talks inspired millions. It's math, it's data, it's trust, automated. Within 2 years, DonorLink's partnerships stretched from Washington, D.C. to Nairobi, from Berlin to Mumbai. Fortune 500 companies integrated its system into their corporate social responsibility programs. Celebrities endorsed it. Governments adopted it to monitor international aid. Billions flowed through the network, and nobody questioned where it all went. Until a forensic accountant in London noticed something strange. Amara Holt, senior auditor at Fleming & Keen Forensics, was assigned a routine compliance review for an international relief NGO named Cure the Gap. The NGO had partnered with DonorLink to streamline donations after a flood in southern India. But Holt's audit trail didn't add up. The NGO's books showed $38 million in relief aid. Yet, tracing bank records, she found only $22 million reaching the intended local partners. The rest disappeared into a complex web of microtransactions, routing fees, and data processing charges, all tied to DonorLink's algorithmic operations. When Holt requested transaction ledgers, DonorLink's legal team refused, citing proprietary technology and donor confidentiality. That was the moment she knew something was off. She flagged the anomaly quietly in her report. 3 weeks later, someone broke into her office and wiped her local archives clean. Meanwhile, in Tallinn, Estonia, a DonorLink data engineer named Jarek Thompson was growing uneasy. He had been part of the back-end architecture team that maintained predictive distribution clusters, systems that matched donor behavior to need forecasts. But he'd begun to notice that certain donation flows were being rerouted to phantom NGOs, entities with no physical address, sometimes even fake staff photos generated by AI. When he questioned it internally, his supervisor warned, "Don't dig into the routing algorithm. It's above your clearance." That's when Jarek copied a small set of encrypted logs and reached out to a journalist he trusted at the Financial Tribune in London. 2 days after the journalist met Jarek at a cafe in Tallinn, her car exploded in what police later called an accidental gas leak. Jarek vanished the next morning. By early 2017, donor governments were under pressure. A congressional committee in Washington demanded transparency over foreign aid allocation. The US Department of Justice formed a joint forensic investigation team, partnering with Europol and Interpol. Heading the task force was Dr. Ethan Ward, a veteran forensic auditor with a reputation for unraveling the impossible. Ward had worked on bank collusion cases and had a calm, precise demeanor. "Every fraud has a pattern," he told his team. "Even if that pattern hides in the noise of algorithms." They began by mapping out all NGOs connected to DonorLink's platform. Out of 5,400 active profiles, 1012 were registered in offshore jurisdictions: the Cayman Islands, Cyprus, Seychelles. Many had overlapping directors. Some shared IP addresses, and almost all were receiving steady, AI-optimized disbursements. Donations supposedly generated by machine recommendations, with no human oversight. Ward's team subpoenaed DonorLink's internal database. The company stalled for months, then finally produced heavily redacted spreadsheets. Hidden in the metadata, analysts found code signatures pointing to Vance Global Holdings, a shell company registered in Luxembourg, owned by none other than DonorLink's CEO. The breakthrough came when Ward's cyber forensics partner, Leila Chen, cracked a fragment of the AI routing code. The donation algorithm wasn't optimizing donations. It was redirecting them to shell charities that reinvested in private equity funds, secretly controlled by DonorLink insiders. Essentially, the AI acted as a money laundering engine disguised as philanthropy. When auditors followed the fund transfers, they discovered $2. 4 billion had passed through 5 major offshore networks, then reappeared as anonymous donor investments in a green energy startup also owned by Vance's conglomerate. It was, as Ward later described in court, an infinite loop of fake goodwill. When the investigation leaked, global chaos followed. Headlines called it the Great Philanthropy Heist. NGOs scrambled to distance themselves. Governments froze grants. Celebrities deleted endorsements. But DonorLink didn't crumble immediately. Liam Vance went on every news outlet claiming innocence. He argued the algorithm was self-learning, and if misallocations occurred, they were statistical anomalies, not fraud. Still, the task force had data. They discovered that during every global crisis, a famine, a hurricane, a war, DonorLink's system spiked transfers to its shell NGOs at the height of emotional donations. It preyed on compassion, said Holt, who was reinstated into the team as a key expert witness. They turned empathy into currency. As arrests began, it became clear that DonorLink had collaborators far beyond its offices. Several bank compliance officers in Europe and Asia had overridden red flag alerts in exchange for bribes. A Kenyan audit firm had falsified due diligence documents to approve fake NGOs. Even within international oversight agencies, a handful of senior officials were caught suppressing suspicious reports in return for donor bonuses. One name shocked investigators. Judge Marcia Laurent, who had previously dismissed a whistleblower lawsuit against DonorLink in California, was found to have received $3. $2 million routed through an NGO she chaired for education. Ward's team cross-checked every trail, every server, every statement. The deeper they went, the clearer the pattern became. The algorithm wasn't built to optimize donations. It was built to control the flow of conscience. In 2028, the Global Financial Crime Tribunal opened proceedings in The Hague. Ethan Ward and his forensic team presented 4 terabytes of digital evidence, server logs, blockchain ledgers, and coded chat transcripts. The files showed deliberate backdoors in DonorLink's AI, allowing manual overrides to reroute funds to offshore accounts. Facing mounting pressure, Vance finally broke down under cross-examination. Yes, he admitted, we tested a redistribution mechanism. But the system evolved. It started making decisions on its own. The claim of rogue AI was his last defense, but experts refuted it. The audit logs clearly showed human override commands. DonorLink was shut down, assets were seized, but the money, most of it, was gone. Scattered across thousands of digital wallets, layered through privacy chains mixed into the world's financial bloodstream. In the months following the verdict, forensic analysts continued to trace fragments of the lost billions. Some of the funds resurfaced through cryptocurrency exchanges in Dubai and Singapore, while others were quietly converted into real estate in Europe. Holt resigned from corporate auditing altogether and founded the Ethical Ledger Initiative, a non-profit promoting transparency in AI-based financial systems. Ward returned to teaching forensic accounting at Georgetown University, where his lectures became legendary. He often ended with one quiet line: "Technology doesn't create greed, it just accelerates it." But behind the closure, one question haunted them all. How many other donation algorithms still operated undetected? The story of the donation algorithm reminds us that trust without verification breeds corruption, even when wrapped in good intentions. As digital philanthropy grows, forensic oversight must evolve with it.